Innovative features meet an elegant design. I am pleased to introduce the MOVA Mobius 60 to you today because this model does many things right and brings some new elements. How well this vacuum mop robot performed in the test and whether it might be the best currently, you will find out here in the test. And if you want to get a new model, please feel free to use the link in the video description for that, because it allows you to support my channel a bit without any disadvantages or extra costs, and I can continue to show you such great and innovative devices in the future. Now let's dive into the test. As always, we start briefly with the feature list of the MOVA Mobius 60. We have the mop swap hub here, which means a station where the mop pads can be swapped for different applications, including, for example, a thermopad that is supposed to retain temperature longer and thus remove dirt better. MOVA has also come up with something special for vacuuming carpets, namely a pressure-retaining flap that lowers during vacuuming. This is intended to maintain the suction pressure, especially on carpets. And while we're on the topic of vacuuming, this device also has a suction power of 30,000 pascals, which should ensure a very good vacuuming result. The flex scope navigation is also included again with the retractable laser tower and the climbing system Stepmaster 2.0, where thresholds up to 8 cm high can be overcome. In my opinion, 6 cm for normal thresholds and the 8 cm for double thresholds. What is also very important are techniques that are supposed to prevent hair tangling. Yeah, MOVA has thought ahead with their turbo wave main brush, the eccentrically wood-hitting side brush and an omni wheel, which is also supposed to minimize hair tangling. The mopping performance is said to have improved as well, not only due to the interchangeable mop pads, but also because the pad holder can now move 2 mm up, 1 mm down and tilt 5 degrees, and with a downward pressure of 12 newtons, the mopping result should be satisfactory. More on that later. Things like the retractable mop pad at the back and the retractable side brush at the front are of course also included here and are standard in a top model, and there are more things that the MOVA Mobius 60 includes, a model packed with features. Here you have everything on board that you really need. Let's now turn to the construction of the robot. We see the camera sensors at the front with the LED light for dark areas. At the top we see the retractable laser turret as well as the control buttons, and on the side is the distance sensor. Under the device we also see the classic features like the retractable mop pad, the turbo wave main brush, the drop sensors, the carpet detection and the retractable side brush. Here, too, it must be said, it is just the classic design of a vacuum robot. However, the station is somewhat more specialized. The 2 tanks for liquids like wastewater are hidden under the cover at the top, and then we can open a door here that shows us the replaceable mop pads. In the middle behind the cover there is the tank for the cleaning solutions as well as the dust bag. At the very bottom we then see the washboard. Due to the function that allows mop pads to be changed, the station is significantly taller than we know from current models, which is only logical. I really like the appearance and workmanship. This is partly due to the really chic station with its black look and the beautiful panel on the side. It gives an extremely high quality impression, although this glossy black can naturally have its pitfalls regarding fingerprints or scratches, which would naturally be more visible. But purely in terms of appearance, this is really very chic here. Bravo MOVA, you have really done a great job here. The next item on the agenda is general navigation, and here proven technology is at work, which results in us getting perfect navigation. That should definitely be clear. It always knows where it is, has not had any dropouts in the test so far, and even drives into the smallest gaps if the sensors allow it. The function of the retractable laser tower to drive under low furniture now works quite reliably, as you can see in the background. If the robot does not recognize flat areas by itself, you can also set these in the app so that it drives down there. For me, this function even adds value because it can drive under our sofa. The Stepmaster 2.0 system also works perfectly, allowing it to climb our thresholds effortlessly, and thanks to the adaptive chassis, rocking chairs should not pose any problems in most cases. But even with the latter, there are days when it might not work well. It always depends on how the sensors capture and recognize it. And with obstacle detection, you see familiar strengths. It recognizes all obstacles confidently and navigates around them safely. Current top models work close to perfection here due to the built-in cameras and object recognition. No matter how small the obstacle is, it detects and avoids it. Cables are also always recognized and no longer sucked in. This saves you a lot of work and you no longer have to clear everything away before sending off the robot. Alas, chaos, gas. But, as always, suction and mopping performance are most important when you want to buy such a device, and we start with the suction performance of the MOVA Mobius 60, which is consistently very good. Normal surfaces like tiles, PVC flooring or laminate pose no difficulties for the MOVA Mobius 60. Everything is reliably vacuumed away here. Hair also poses no problem here, although I must say that I mean normal dirt with hair. If you have many or extremely long-haired pets at home, for example, you should make use of certain functions to ensure the result is really good and remains good. And by that I mean, for example, the point that you let the dust container be emptied more frequently per task to avoid clumping. To be fair, it must be said that there is no perfect device. However, if you make use of all the functions from the app and adjust them accordingly for your own home, there should actually be no difficulties. When vacuuming the carpets, it also showed no weaknesses. New here is also the feature that it can lower a shutter to keep the suction power consistently high on carpets. Whether this is a game changer, I don't know, as I was already very satisfied with the carpet cleaning of the older MOVA models. Here again, the but, because especially with slightly high pile carpets, the flap could be very helpful. And in the video, you see the result with the oats, and I think one can really be more than satisfied here. And here's a tip from me. If possible, let it vacuum at least on the turbo level, then you'll usually have a satisfactory result. The weaker suction levels are really only suitable for very, very light dirt. What also works very well now is the coarse dirt detection function in the app, and I would definitely recommend activating this setting as it really provides significant added value. And to briefly summarize the whole thing, I am really very satisfied with the suction power, and I think you will be too. I was especially curious about the mopping performance due to the interchangeable mop pads, and I really like this feature because it simply causes less cross-contamination on home floors. What you should keep in mind, however, is that changing the mop pads also takes a certain amount of time, and you have to accept a longer cleaning process, especially if you change them often. Therefore, here's a tip: adjust the routine beforehand so that it doesn't have to change the pads in every room, but rather clean the rooms in an order that minimizes pad changes. Now, let's talk about the actual mopping performance. We have different mopping pads for various applications, and in practice it works quite well. The thermal mopping pads in particular offer a small advantage because they retain heat longer and thus remove dirt better. This advantage is of course only present for a certain period. That makes sense because these cleaning pads eventually cool down, but especially at the beginning of a task, they offer minimal advantages. It wipes away light dirt well, and even slightly dried on dirt is removed due to the decent contact pressure. For really stubborn cases, other models with a cleaning roller are more advantageous. Here, almost all mop pad models still have their weaknesses. Where I find the mop pad models are better is in corner cleaning and edge cleaning. Current models with the mop roller still have some disadvantages there. And another big advantage of the mop pads is that due to their structure, they can clean better in grooves. Additionally, as mentioned at the beginning, this model can not only move the mop holder up or down but also tilt it, which significantly improves the cleaning performance on uneven floors when mopping, and this is noticeable in practice. In normal household use and with regular dirt, you will be very satisfied with the mopping performance. I promise you that. I was quite satisfied with this mopping performance, even though robots with rollers have slight advantages when mopping. I also find the app very well done now. Not only is it nicely designed in terms of color, but you also see small animations on the start screen showing what the robot is currently doing. In addition, you really have many settings options here, and you should really take a look at the app because there are many good features that improve your cleaning routine, such as multiple emptying of the dustbin during a cleaning task, coarse dust detection, or the silk brush rotating on carpets. And of course, you can name, separate or merge rooms again, set the mopping pads per room, define flat areas, set the sequence and much more. A really comprehensive app with many settings. And we must not forget to mention that MOVA provides a 3-year warranty on the devices, which is a really great service that not everyone offers anymore. Thus, you are really well secured here. So, and now we must of course also draw a final conclusion about the MOVA Mobius 60. It certainly ranks among the best. I really like the mop pad change function, and the other important features like the retractable laser tower or crossing thresholds now work very well. You get a really excellent cleaning performance here, and with all the top models it's becoming very difficult to make a decision. Here, the small things make the difference, like reliability or minor innovations that offer added value, such as the retractable panel to further improve the vacuuming results on carpets. With this, I want to say that MOVA is trying to stand out, and it succeeds in some areas. Moreover, the black and gold look is truly amazing. Therefore, I can only recommend buying it if your budget allows. You can also find the links to the device in the video description. Use them if you want to buy a device, because it supports my channel a bit without any disadvantages for you. If you have questions about the device or other questions, please feel free to use the comment section, give a thumbs up for the video and also subscribe to my channel here. And at the end, I naturally say again, thank you for being here. Until the next test video, take care, bye bye.